Hello friends. Well, has it been a long time since I last put out a video? I know. You need to get on that, but listen. I did have a video before this one that I was going to put up there. I had 30 minutes of footage. And the thing is it was about TikTok. And I was gonna do something about like people doing K-pop on TikTok and how cringy it was. And well, I was working through it very hard and it took a long time because college is killing me. But I saw a video by Gus Johnson saying that YouTube has an issue where they're just taking people down for just mentioning song. And I was like, I don't want that to happen to me, and I literally only have a few videos out, but still, like, I'm not here to risk it. So yes, I am mildly upset that I had over 30 minutes of footage go to waste, but who knows, maybe in the near future I will put it out and everything will be cool. But I don't want my video taken down. You know, college is over for the semester, everything's chill, I'm not going all over Timbuktu as I was for the holidays. Oh, by the way, happy holidays. How are you? How are you doing today? Even if it's probably after New Year's by the time this is up, but who knows, maybe I'll be an absolute mastermind and freaking get it up in like 2 days, but who knows. But also I just want to say, as you can tell, this is a new format. I just wanted to try this out and see if it would work better for me. It just feels a lot better because I don't have to like look at a camera or anything, and I can just kind of talk because I'm not good at editing. But I hope whatever's up on the screen right now is entertaining you, even remotely. But anyways, today's video. Now, I don't know if you've been in the loop lately, but there is a YouTuber by the name of Onision, or as I like to call, the Onion Boy, and as many others like to call him, Strange Eons, or Aeons, or however you pronounce her name, reviewed his book Stones to Abigail, and she did not like it at all. And Onision kind of did a reaction to her criticizing him and seemed to not take it very well, and it was just a big old mess. And you try to say, oh, I wasn't making it was just basically a mess. And you know what, I'm a chaotic neutral and I live for that stuff. But today do a narration and commentary of the sampling, or the sample of Stones to Abigail. And this is online, anyone can get it, anyone can see it. So I'm assuming I'm okay, but you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just jump right into it. Now, I will say though, I have read the first few paragraphs, and you are in for quite the treat. Now, let's just begin. Let's just get into it. I was asleep until I met her. When I finally woke, I learned the meaning of perfect imperfection. Okay, pause right there. There is one thing that I will criticize with anyone's writing, just anywhere. This just makes me sad. When people try to be profound in the most cliche ways possible. Like, look at this. Perfect imperfection. Like, wow, I think you probably... Oh, the Onion Boy probably thinks he's so woke because he put a paradox in his book. Like, oh my gosh, guys, look at this. Perfect imperfection. That is a paradox. I am a creative Mongol. And it's like, or Mogul. I can't remember. But it's cliche. It's nothing new. We've all seen it before. You're not profound for putting a paradox in your writing. But anyways, let's just keep on going. I've always been the type of person to focus on stars as we spin beneath them. The cool breeze on a sunny day, scattered patches of grass under my feet, the world around me, often forgetting to even glance at the one within. Okay, I also want to say, the Onion dude clearly has some pent-up emo left over from high school, even though he is a 30-year-old man. But, you know, what's new? We expected this from him, if I'm being honest. I had remained emotionally unexplored for so much of my life. It's painful knowing some can go an entire lifetime without understanding their own heart. and interlock, waiting for the right key to change everything. It was the first Monday of November. That's just a weird way to, like, set up a scene. Like, who is that specific about it was the first Monday of November? Like, to me, that's just, like, you could just say it was a normal day. Like, I don't know why he feels like he needs to write this way, but it's so weird. You'll just have to keep on reading with me. Let's just keep on going. I'm already getting mad. This is gonna be really long. I opened my eyes. Blinded by my recently painted wall-to-wall white room, even my bed frame, constructed of purely metal, was painted white. It bounced off the walls, causing my eyelids to desperately clamp together, painting my room like this was a clear act of subtle, self-inflicted psychological torture. I'm gonna, like, stop at, like, every second. Like, I'm just gonna stop at every sentence, because I just hate when people try to sound like they're these woke people that are so good at writing and stuff, and then this is just their writing style of, like, try hard, philosophical, woke dude. Like, I don't even know, but, like, it just makes me cringe a little bit. I just want to die. But let's keep on going. Let's try to keep on going. I don't even know if I can get through the first few pages, who knows. I was going through another phase. From darkness to light and repeat. Seemed like the story of my life. I'm just gonna stop at, like, every sentence. Like, seriously, just reading this, like, I was going through another phase from darkness to light and repeat. Seemed like the story of my life. Oh, look, there's another cliche. Congratulations, Onion Boy. You have proved that you are an idiot. My mom could see the darker colors were depressing me. I felt comforted by them, but found there were good aspects of both extremes. I was happy to visit either side. They are both so simple, but right now the intense light bouncing from wall to wall felt like it was ripping my mind in two. You know what this sounds like? This sounds like a college freshman attempting to do slam poetry. And listen, I have seen this too many times. Like, this isn't special. He makes it seem like this is a special book, and it means, like, sure, it can mean a lot to him. He says it talks about people from his actual life, which he ends up using against other people to say, you know, like with Strange Eons, she was like, okay, this character is questionable, and he's all like, well, that person died. You know, that's just, other than that, this is just stupid. Like, I don't even know if that statement, I'm just baffled. I am just baffled by this guy being a 30-year-old man writing, like, an angsty sophomore in high school who loves slam poetry but knows absolutely nothing about writing. Anyways, let's just try to go back into it yet again. My mom didn't wake me. My alarm clock sat on my dresser with no explanation from its failure to function. The clock only illuminated a blank stare with 8:17 written all over its face. While entirely robotic, I imagined the clock to have the dumbest possible expression, one complimenting its failure to behave any way outside its random glitch-infested nature. In the reflection of its plastic face, I could see myself unconsciously making the dumb expression I was imagining the clock to have. I laughed in my casual, dorky tone and began to get ready to leave home. Okay, this is another thing, and it's not about the writing this time, so haha. I bet you guys are tired of me talking about that, but what psycho looks at a clock and it's like, that clock is stupid? Like, I love how he's just, oh my gosh, just personifying objects into people he hates. Like, he's not like, I don't know, maybe it'd be cooler if he, like, kind of personified objects as, like, things, but I don't know, like, nice things, I don't know, but Like, he literally just creates things he doesn't like, and it's just like, alright. Also, who describes what narrator is like, I laughed in my dorky tone? Like, who does that? That's how you know he's like grooming himself, because he's like, I'm a dorky person, I love it. Like, that is just weird, and it's strange, and it's like, please, the onion boy needs to grow up, but I guess that's not happening. Without breakfast, I left for school with a bogus note. Who uses bogus? Who uses bogus in writing? With this profound writing, with all this profound writing, I'm surprised he even thought about using the word bogus. But let me just keep on going. I left for school with a bogus note in hand to idealistically explain my tardiness. I think most of my teachers were too exhausted to worry about small variances in our appearances from time to time. With how low their pay likely was, I imagine there were very few rules most teachers cared about. It was another cold day in Lakewood. Oh, gosh. Okay. First, little hiccup I see. You already talked about what day it was. Why do you need to say it was a cold day? It was the first day of November. It was, like, shut up. Just stop trying to describe things like you're describing the Bible. Like, what are you doing? This is making me physically angry, and I don't know if you people can tell, but like, oh my gosh, I am dying. I am dying. My glasses fell off my face because of how much I'm dying. Okay, let's try to get back into this. The wind hit my eyes, forcing tears to form in the corners as I sped along the sidewalk at a no doubt unreasonable speed. I passed Lauren and Raymond walking the opposite direction, no doubt headed toward the nearby church where all students go to smoke, make out, and hide out until school ends. They seemed so childish as they held hands and smiled excitedly as if they had gotten away with some tremendous crime. See, this is how you can just tell that Onis Young was not a pleasant kid to be around with in high school. Like, he was just not pleasant to be around for like normal people. I'm sure there are some people who are friends with him, whatever, but if I like met this guy in high school, I would just be like, I don't want anything to do with this guy. This guy's weird. He just seems pretentious. Like, honestly, it's kind of sad that like this is how he might have been in high school. Like, and he's still like that to this day. Like, that just tells you how much. And he might still be like that this day, which is something you do not want to be. You do not want to be your high school self in 20 years or 18 years, whatever. But let's keep on going. Mr. Hanson, my heavy-set, middle-aged history teacher, rolled his eyes as I walked into class. James, talk to me after class, he said, quickly looking away from me as if I were an undervalued employee who was barely important enough to make eye contact with, let alone deliver a full sentence to. I have a note, I said. He ignored me and continued his lecture on yet another topic that would not only be completely useless later in life, but it wasn't even relevant for even a few seconds after the words left his mouth. Somebody really hated their teacher. Somebody just really, really hated this teacher. Like, this is, once again, he's clearly stated that these are based on real people. Well, you really hated some of your teachers, and I'm not surprised. There was only 15 minutes left in the class, but I felt it would be more stimulating to integrate myself into the room yet again, study my classmates' behavior, than to sit in a hall, watching the rows of scum-covered tiles and inevitably slide off decaying walls. For as long as I remembered, I've enjoyed seeing how people move around and talk to each other like they're all animals at the zoo. I would try to deliver a more accurate analogy if I felt there was one, but so many of them seemed incredibly unaware of themselves. just living life as if it were some generic, predefined routine. This is just disheartening to read. Like, this is just draining all of the energy out of my body. Like, this guy, you do not want to be friends with this kind of person in high school. Like, describing people like they're animals at the zoo. Like, that's just weird. Like, I get it. High school can be pretty crazy, and there's a lot of idiots in high school. But it just seems so obsessive to, like, he kind of gets enjoyment out of watching people do things that are stupid to him. Like, it's just weird, but... Oh, and speaking of which, the next line is, sometimes I felt like an alien who had a VIP pass to submerge myself in primitive human culture just for entertainment. Who would have thought? I sense everything I can take in around me. The seemingly limitless, audible tones, tremors, and the voices of growing children rang in my ears. In studying people, I found myself gradually learning to literally feel the various personality types I encountered. I hyperanalyzed every consistent smell that's Okay, you can... We just need to send Onision to see a therapist. That's just it. That's just it. We're done. We just need to have him see a therapist. Because this, oh my gosh, I don't know. Just literally looking at this, it is like looking at somebody just absolutely praising themselves. Like, this just shows way too much just about him. Okay, let me try and keep on going. I took favor of categorizing most everyone around me. The socially inept know-it-all, the dumb attention-seeking drama kid, and the bleach blonde bimbo who gets overly defensive at the slightest hint of criticism. I love the irony in this book. It's like he really knows how to describe himself. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Just wow, I never knew someone could describe themselves so beautifully. Like, by the way, that was just irony. Like, it is sad to see, like, oh wow, like, that is so contradictory of, like, what he views himself as, and then literally all the things he says, like, the people he think are stupid are literally him. Like, that is just irony in a nutshell. Anyways, then there were the kids who just hoped no one noticed them at all. There was so much to be seen, to be considered, and organized in my mind. Class had just ended, so I walked over to Mr. Hansen's desk and placed the tardy note down in passing. As I walked out with the rest of my class, he called after me, "James, we still need to talk." I responded, but continued to walk outside the room. "I have to be early to my next class. Let's talk tomorrow." I walked quickly down the hallway towards my art class, which was awkwardly placed in a trailer outside my clearly poorly funded high school. On my way to the class, a fight had already broken out between two jocks who, no doubt, both had controlling iron-fisted fathers who brainwashed them into believing conflicts between men and are both best resolved with the bloodying of their fists. I may just skip ahead a little bit and just, like, see if there's anything interesting, because this is all just painful and I want to get somewhere. Art class was about to begin. My teacher, Mrs. Stanley, who looked like she should have retired a ridiculous 30 years ago, approached the front of the room, talking about how art is sacred. She also discussed the random object she had us all draw the previous school day, and ironically graded it by using her own narrow-minded definition of art. I always wondered how teachers could even attempt objectively grading art. Is there any logic behind validating a form of self-expression using a cold, black and white mathematical system? "Today I'm going to be placing you with partners," Mrs. Stanley said as she pulled out sheets of paper outlining our activities to come. "To keep this simple, I'm going to partner you with the person you are currently assigned to share a desk with," she said. I sighed, knowing I was bound to be paired up with Alex, a guy I had specifically asked to be seated away from ever since he peed in a jar literally right next to me under our desk, acting like he was so cool for publicly exposing himself while simultaneously urinating. I don't even know anymore. It happened weeks ago, and I still can't figure out what kind of crazy it takes for you to, in the presence of people you barely know but have to see nearly on a daily basis. Okay, basically this is just a he does not like this guy. This guy really existed in his high school, and he did not like this guy. Let's skip over that paragraph. As I was off on a tangent in my own mind. Okay, I heard a familiar voice ring out, one that inspired the very same emotion you experienced when a song you had forgotten you loved randomly plays in the background of your daily life. Can I be paired up with James? James is the protagonist, aka the Onion. Her voice was just as I remembered. Despite her having not spoken in class some time, she hadn't changed a note. Abby had interrupted the teacher just to partner with me, but I asked myself if was it. Did I just not read, or is this guy's writing weird? But I asked myself, was it really. There needs to be a comma there. There needs to be some. That sentence needs to be changed. Okay, but I asked myself if was it really just. It's like I can't read the stupid sentence that he wrote. But I asked myself if was it really just to work with me or just to get away from Jason. But I asked myself if was it really just to work with me or just to get away from Jason. That's a weird sentence. I don't even know. The teacher, looking irritated but understanding Abby's discomfort with Jason, responded, Alex and Jason, you'll be partners. James switched seats with Jason. Thank you, Abby said with a slight smile. With a cocky grin, Jason stood up and in a comedic fashion smelled his armpit. Wow, I didn't know I smelled that bad, Jason said as he walked over to sit by Alex. You know what? I'm just gonna stop it here, because I'm actually dying while reading this sample of his book, Stones to Abigail. This is just painful to watch, and I don't even know how Strange Eons even made it past page 1. Or just the first chapter, because I can't. This is just painful, and I can't read it anymore. So I'm just gonna end it here. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all can read the book if you want to. You can buy it. You can do whatever you want. Just tell me what you think. This is, to me, is absolutely terrible, and I want to shoot myself in my foot. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll be posting more videos soon, if college doesn't murder me, but I'm doing this now on break, so I have plenty of time to edit it, so hopefully I'll get it out before the semester even starts. But yeah, remember kids, context is important. Subscribe.